Hello everyone, my name is the Undead Assassin, and welcome back to another video. So, I just finished watching, about a couple days ago, the first two episodes of Falcon and Winter Soldier. Of course, I loved it. Cinematic, cinematography was great, the writing, always impeccable. That's just how Marvel is nowadays. Representation, pretty damn good. Honestly, there's just a lot of things that I just absolutely enjoy about the show so far. And honestly, as hard as I did try, I can't find a reason to dislike the show or find anything that I find negative about the show so far. It's only been two episodes, but they're pretty long. So anyway, I'm sure you can see by the title of the video that yeah, I I don't understand why everybody hates I don't understand why everybody hates John Walker. Now, I am aware. I do have some understanding. I shouldn't say I don't. I'm not completely ignorant. I'm aware that most of the hate comes from the idea that he was not, that he is taking like Steve Rogers' place, and that he cannot live up to that ideal of what Steve Rogers was. I believe I was watching a bunch of reaction videos just to get the general idea, as well as reading through the comments of those videos. And I believe the term "not my Captain America" definitely came in a lot. Now I want to make things clear. So far, I like John Walker in the show, and currently has my respect. Now, the John Walker in the comics, very different character. Very fucking different. He was a extreme nationalist, right-wing, conservative, very, the type. And he was essentially just the evil Captain America. But so far, from what I can tell, that doesn't seem to be the case with John Walker that we're seeing on the actual show. On the actual, streaming show. He seems to be as far away from the comic book counterpart as he absolutely can be. In fact, he seems like he's physically somewhat capable, significantly more capable than the average guy, like in combat. He's probably skill-wise around Falcon's level, like almost peak human condition. He did he was doing counter-terrorist operations and hostage rescue. And the biggest thing that got to me was that he had 3 Medal of Honors. Those medals mean a lot. When I watched a bunch of reaction videos and I saw a bunch of comments, I realized that people don't understand the weight of what that medal means. They kind of just pass him off as, he's your war hero, he's a war veteran. But what it means to receive just 1 Medal of Honor is one of the most honorable things, one of the greatest achievements you can accomplish as a person. The Medal of Honor doesn't just represent, you were really good at being in this war. What it really means is that it represents that you committed a number of selfless, sacrificial acts in order to save a large amount of lives. That's what it takes to get a Medal of Honor. Most people that have the Medal of Honor are dead because they received it afterwards, after their death. Guys that get on machine guns and hold off waves of enemy soldiers, your heroes that jump on top of grenades so that he catches all the shrapnel so that no one else gets hit by it. He's blown apart. Prisoners of war that are heavily tortured but don't say a single thing to give away, their own outpost or any information that might give the enemy a single bit of advantage. Crazy fucking guys and girls that basically essentially sacrificed themselves in order for whatever operation they were to succeed, and so that the least amount of casualties were to occur. That's what it means to receive 1 Medal of Honor. This guy has 3. Now, obviously, it could be doctored, but it seems quite obvious that it isn't. He is a legit, military man. Even the retired, therapist lady worked with him. She mentions, I used to do some ops with him. And look at the specific operations that he did: counterterrorism and hostage rescue. This man was bred to save people. He was made to save people. One of the biggest things that I almost immediately realized was when he jumped into that fight with Bucky and Sam, every single action he was trying to do was to help people. He was either throwing shields to sort of make sure that like either Sam or Bucky aren't getting grappled. Every decision he made was so that they could be like saved. And when his partner, and I say partner, not sidekick, because for some reason everyone who, oh, there's a black guy next to a white guy, and the white guy is like the main guy, like, so that guy must be the sidekick. I don't understand that either. Battlestar even says, I'm his partner. But I watched a bunch of reaction videos, and it seems that, because it's the black guy next to Captain America, he's the sidekick. He's the Bucky. Okay, buddy. But when Battlestar gets knocked back, the first thing he does, without even hesitating, is that he saves him. He throws the shield away. He gives up the shield without a second thought in order to save his teammate. When they're walking on the trek, and Bucky goes, "Have you ever jumped on a grenade?" He's like, "Yeah, 4 times." I mean, he says, "Is there something to do with the grenade? With my helmet?" I'm assuming that he puts his helmet on top of the grenade, and then he jumps on top of the helmet. Obviously, like, oh, he's doing it with a helmet. That doesn't count. I don't understand how you can say that. How about you try jumping on top of a fucking grenade, see how much guts it takes to do that shit? And he did it 4 times. I have no doubt that he will become evil, that he will become antagonistic. I have no doubt that all those things are going to happen. That's just how he's being built up. He's being built up to the top so that he can eventually fall. In fact, my working theory at the moment is that he's going to be doing his job. He's going to feel inadequate and not be able to work enough, and he's going to want some sort of super soldier serum. However, like the Red Skull, it'll probably like fuck him over and screw him over. And my big theory is that he's going to be so desperate to want the serum because he doesn't have it, and he doesn't feel like he can do his job properly, that he takes the serum and he becomes Red Skull. So they have a Red Skull now. It's a pretty crazy theory, but that's what I'm sticking with. But with the 2 episodes, specifically the second episode, because we don't see much of him in the first one. He's going through everything Captain America was going through. He has the guts that Captain America had. Yeah, he's like physically like the number 1 guy. You know, Captain America was weak, sure. And he was given the serum and made him strong. And this guy is already strong. But he's also a good guy. And what I love about him is that unlike Captain America, who was literally fucking perfect, this guy isn't. As much as I love Captain America, the truth is Captain America was actually like a not at all a realistic person. Most people, like Sam, like Bucky, they make mistakes. They have flaws. Captain America didn't have any flaws. Not flaws in his character, at least. And I suppose that's that first scene with Sam where he's like, he is the best of us. Like, it is true. He is, in fact, the best of what a person could be. A loving, generous, hopeful, caring person that wants nothing to do but to put their shield in front of them and protect everyone. And it's quite obvious that John Walker, this version of John Walker at least, definitely not the one in the comics, but so far this one has earned, in my personal opinion, every right to be Captain America. He's not perfect, because I don't think like any real person would be perfect. He makes mistakes. I completely understand. But that's what I really like about this character. Now again, they could easily spring some weird shit up. Like, he's like secretly like racist or sexist or some weird shit. Even though so far, nothing that they've shown has pointed on that to be a fact. Maybe we'll see something like that in the 3rd episode. Maybe he's secretly in the KKK. Who fucking knows? But so far, within the first 2 episodes, it's really hard for me to understand aside from the fact that and I think it's also because of the fact that they just gave him the shield, even though the shield was supposed to go to a museum, and I completely 100% fucking agree. I don't think they should have given him the shield, but I think also at the same time, if they were going to give it to anyone else, and Bucky or Sam Falcon didn't want to accept the shield. I think personally that this version of John Walker is the second best person to take the shield. Again, I could be dreadfully wrong, and he just turns out to be a complete and utter asshole, just a terrible person. But my guess is he isn't. My guess is that he is a good person that wants to help people, and they're going to build him up to be this amazing and good and great person, and maybe even have Sam and Bucky like him towards the end, and then they're going to do something and he's going to fall. Because one of the things that with him is that he's almost like, he's not perfect, because he's like, Captain America's perfect, but he's like he almost seems too good to be true. It's like, oh my god, we on the wake of Captain America's death, we found the perfect person to replace him. There's a lot of different things, but what I say goes. What I say still stands. I think that if anyone else is going to be Captain America, and Falcon obviously doesn't want to be Captain America, then I think he's the second closest. Another theory that I'm also thinking about is that he's just gonna die. He's gonna die, and they're gonna give it to someone that's an actual asshole, and then they're gonna try and take the shield back or whatever. I have a lot of different sort of ideas of where I think the story's going, but you're not given enough clues, really, to guess farther than the next episode. And I do understand what he stands for. He stands for, though I don't think the actual character is an evil, bad person, he stands for the institutionalized racism that happens here in the U.S. Because they went back with Isaiah Bradley, who is a really cool character in the comics, but they followed essentially the same story in the comics. He was put in jail and tested on and stuff. Like, Isaiah Bradley was feared by Hydra, according to Bucky. That he was literally like just Steve. He was Black Steve. And the Hydra was fucking afraid of him. And yet he wasn't like, no shows were being put on him. Nothing. There wasn't any like big fucking show that was being put on for him. They celebrating him as a hero. So he was put in prison and studied and tested upon. And that fucking sucks ass. That's what John Walker's supposed to represent, and I guess that's probably why a lot of people dislike him. My only problem with that is that you gave him the fucking credentials. You could have just made him just an average sort of veteran soldier, and I suppose it wouldn't make any sense if that was the case, because why would you give it to some rando, right? You have to give it to somebody with the credentials to be able to be Captain America, and he has the credentials, but that also makes me not dislike him. Or it makes me not dislike him, yeah. I think I'm like this because I don't let my feelings get in the way. Like, when I saw him show up in the first episode, I was like, I suppose I can understand where they're coming from. It's the exact same thing with, if you watch My Hero Academia, is that when All Might retires, everybody else is, every like, bad guy is like, oh shit, like, All Might's gone. Now we can really rough some shit up. Like Captain America was a symbol of peace and a symbol of America, and now that he's gone, well, a bunch of motherfuckers are going to start coming out the woodwork, being like, Captain America's gone, time to kick America's shit in. Especially during an extremely vulnerable time, like just a few months after like the blip. Like, to me, it's just, I don't know. I can understand why they need a new Captain America. I disliked the way that they just like took a shield that was supposed to go to a museum. They should have made him a new one, or made a different symbol, but I guess they were trying to capitalize on the name. I completely understand. I didn't let my emotions get the best of me, and I saw that as like I can understand why they would do that. And then the next episode, I was even more sure about my feelings in the previous episode when they confirmed his credentials, and it's so obvious that his credentials are legit. Like, for a while I was thinking, 3 medals of honors, really? That's like too much, because I already mentioned before, like, that what it takes to have Medal of Honor, but 3? But it seems legit. Honestly, the only way they could really like screw this up is if they revealed him to be racist, sexist, every like of the worst kind, you know, all those terrible things, homophobic, whatever. Just make him all of that put into one. But I don't think so. He seems like he's surrounded by good people that are trying to help him, you know, and help his way through life. So I don't think that's gonna happen. But also, I understand because people are very connected to Falcon and Bucky, which both of them are. Falcon or Bucky is my favorite like villain. And I would technically he was a villain in Winter Soldier, but I know in Civil War and the rest he technically kind of wasn't. And Sam, frankly, I've always been a big fan of Sam. Just as a character, I think he's fucking dope as shit. And I personally think that he's extremely underused, and I'm glad that he got the show along with Bucky. So yeah, like I don't know. It's hard to think about this kind of stuff. Anyways, I feel like this has been 16 minutes of me talking. I don't. If you made it this far, put in the comments. Congratulations.